Hey, I'll see you on tour in Las Vegas, Chicago, and Grand Rapids. In Chicago, it's stand-up and a live panel show. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and make sure you go to jimmydore.com. And now, here's what Candace Owens has to say about it.
I've got to be kidding me. Let me say something right now. Take this to the bank, okay? That person was allowed to scale that roof, okay? I am not some individual who's trying to assess the situation and had never been around the president of the United States. While Trump was in office, okay, was around him a lot. And let me tell you something. The Secret Service, there is no person that can get around the perimeter of the Secret Service where Donald Trump is without them being aware of it. I am not kidding when I say that my husband once almost got shot by the Secret Service because he came down a staircase. I was speaking at the NRA, and he snaked in and came down, and they didn't know who he was. And they were like, freeze. Like, we will shoot you right now. So you're telling me that guy walked up and was trying to get the attention. The Secret Service saw him, and he's pointing, and he's saying, this guy's got a gun, and they're pretending they don't know what's going on. I mean, am I crazy? Do you guys actually believe this was a failure in intelligence? All of these Secret Service agents crawling around, and you don't think just what that guy said, that is common sense, okay? They're trying to now tell us that common sense is a conspiracy. That is the new thing that they're trying to tell the public. Common sense is a conspiracy. You're telling me this guy was able to walk up with a rifle in his hand and scale a roof, and you don't think the Secret Service, and let me tell you, they get there days before. Let me tell you how a security apparatus is supposed to run. Days before, they get in and they look at every possible angle in which somebody could hurt the president. Okay? And I'm not even talking about once you get to the Secret Service. I'm talking about if you just have security in general. Before you speak, they will go, okay, this is the stage. Okay, let me tell you. That right there is a problem. They'll mark that as a spot. That right there is a problem. We need to know who this person is. They'll knock on doors. Okay. They got to figure out every possible angle that any individual could potentially get on a roof, because you know what? This has happened in the past. People have been shot from roofs. People have been shot from windows. There is a 0% chance that some random person with a rifle was able to scale a roof, unless there was just an unbelievable failure in intelligence. And you want to know why it's unbelievable? Because I don't effing believe it. I don't believe it. I want the names of the Secret Service agents that allowed this remarkable security failure to go down. Because I don't believe this. I'm done with this. I don't believe this, not for 1 second. Having been around the president, having literally almost watched my husband get shot because he came down the wrong set of stairs at the NRA, screaming at him. And I jump in front of someone like, don't shoot him. That's my husband. And you're telling me they knew he was going to speak and they weren't worried about the roofs? A roof with an angle to shoot the president. This guy says 50 yards away. He watched this. You have got.
So that's Candace Owens' take. That seems like that's my take. Yep. And I think it seems like that's close to what you guys are saying.
Yeah, she's pretty fired up. Wait till she finds out the shooter's a Jew. And she'll give you a real hot take there. Can't wait for that video to drop. That's going to be a real blockbuster.
Hitler, misunderstood poet.
I mean, they're going to try and, it is amazing. Do you think Fox News is going to cover this differently than CNN and MSNBC? Because they all work for the same people.
Yeah, but they work for a different side of the power structure. And their audience will not allow them to not cover this angle. They kind of have to. Although your point is taken, because this is big. This is big. You have enormous, glaring evidence. Like this makes the JFK assassination look above board. Like, how do you get around the facts that she just laid out? That you got civilian witnesses, multiple civilian witnesses who spotted this gunman. You've got footage of the Secret Service literally having them in their line of sight and letting them take the shots first. How do you put that all together and at the very least not come to the conclusion that they let it happen, even if not that they set it up?
It's a very, very strange sequence of events there. I mean, it's impossible to make sense of. If you chalk it up to incompetence, look at how many people had to have been incompetent. I texted you guys in the group text before because updates are coming in really, really fast. The AP reported 40 minutes before we went on air, so probably about an hour ago at this point, that a police officer confronted the shooter on the roof.
No.
Had him in his sights. Yeah, if you check your text, Jimmy, I just texted you that. It's on the group text. Here, I can read it now. Where is it? It's from the AP. Hold on, where the hell is it? Russell, Jimmy. It's in the group text somewhere.
I don't see it.
I texted it to both you guys, didn't I? Let me see. I'm pretty sure I did here. Yeah, it's to your. Well, I don't want to give the.
Oh,
area
here it
code.
is.
It's
A
to your other
local.
number.
Here it is.
Yeah.
It's Steph got. Not long before shots rang out, rallygoers noticed a man climbing to the top of the roof nearby building and warned local law enforcement. One officer climbed to the roof and encountered the guy. What?
Yeah. And that's from the Associated Press. That's not from HillarySucksballs.biz.
He pointed his rifle at the officer. The officer retreated down the ladder. There's a fucking ladder.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable.
Which they didn't think to guard.
And crook. So the guy had to have a ladder, and he had to have a rifle, and somehow and that's all open. So somehow he got a ladder and a rifle, and no one noticed this guy with a ladder. So the cop turns around and retreated down the ladder, and Crooks quickly took a shot quickly. What?
Yeah, so apparently, according to the AP, the moment before the shot was fired, a cop comes up the ladder, sees him there. The shooter points the gun at the cop. The cop cowers, goes back down the ladder. The shooter turns around and takes a shot at that moment. And we just saw the video a few minutes ago of the Secret Service gunman on the roof. They must have been watching that. They must have been watching because they clearly had him in his sights up until the moment he started shooting. So they clearly saw him waving the gun around. Maybe they didn't see the cop coming up the ladder, but they clearly saw something going on with a gun being waved around.
Right.
I mean, come on.
So this guy could point the gun at the cop and then get positioned enough again to take that shot at Trump?
Yeah.
Well, see, there's another thing that argues for the Patsy theory. This guy had to have been a pretty good shot.
It was a pretty perfect shot. If Trump didn't turn his head to look at that chart,
at the last second, at the last second, he turns his head, and it's like the bullet went boom. So instead of going in here, it went here,
right in the side of the head. Yep.
Right.
And if it was Biden, it would have went in one ear, out the other, without hitting his brain. That would have been
that's true.
That's the beauty of that.
Yes.
His brain is so
shrunken. You have to be a hell of a marksman to make that shot. So the idea that some random Republican Democrat donor in this town had those kinds of skills, it's fishy.
Hey, I'll see you on tour in Las Vegas, Chicago, and Grand Rapids. In Chicago, it's stand-up and a live panel show. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and make sure you go to jimmydore.com.